This video deals with the PTE reading task, multiple choice, single answer. You'll see a text with up to 300 words. There are 2 or 3 of these tasks per test. They're each 2 minutes. You'll see 4 or 5 choices on the right of your screen, and only one of them is correct. You will have to link the question to the text and then to the answer. You may be asked to identify a specific detail, or you may be asked to infer meaning, and I'll explain what that means. You'll need a strategy in order to complete the task successfully. For instance, link the key words in the questions to the key phrases in the text. Look for synonyms and synonymous phrases in the text and link them back to the question. And don't forget, negative conjunctions, prefixes, and negative verbs like although, doesn't, to with an adjective, over or under are also important to look out for. The types of information you may be asked to look for are, for instance, inferences that readers should make. What does inference mean? That means it's your interpretation of the text. You may also be asked to identify the opinion of the author. That means it's not your opinion and not your interpretation. You are looking specifically for the opinion of the author in the text. You may also be asked to identify a specific detail from the text, for example, a statistic, a percentage, a fact within a sentence. You may be asked to identify the overall idea of a text, so just the general idea of the text. And you may be asked the function or the purpose of the text, which basically is related to cause and effect. So what is the effect of the text? What should happen after someone reads the text? So why did the author write the text? Or you may be asked to identify the distinction between 2 or 3 details, so the difference between some facts within the text. Analyze this example question, then link it to the text and the correct answer. Okay, so that should be enough time. You'll notice that in the question, human sciences be developed because. Okay, it looks like we're looking for the reason for human sciences being developed. So we want a reason. We're talking about human sciences being developed for a reason. Okay, reason. Infinitives often indicate the reason. So if I read the first sentence, it is to progress in the human sciences that we must look to do something, to undo the evils which have resulted from a knowledge of physical world. Okay, so it looks like the purpose of the text is to convince people that we must undo the evils of physical sciences. So let's look for information related to that idea. Well, the first sentence is good. Human sciences that we must look to undo the evils which have resulted from knowledge of a physical world. What else in the text is related to that idea? Science is in its very nature a liberator from the weight of destructive passions. Okay, I think the answer is D. Should human science be developed because they will eliminate the destruction caused by a superficial knowledge of the physical world? So basically, I just found things in the text that were synonymous with the question, and I found that D had the same words or the same ideas inside it, so I chose D. Here is another example. Okay, so the question here is, which of the following best states the author's main point? And the author's main point basically means the author's opinion. If you look down at the last paragraph, you'll notice the author of this text uses the third person Pickett here, which indicates that this author of this text is referring to the author of another text. That's a good clue. That should indicate that this part of the text indicates an opinion of the author. Then it says overstates. So the subject is Pickett and then overstates. So what does over mean as a prefix? For instance, the cup is being overfilled with coffee. Basically, over means too much, which is a negative prefix. So it looks like the author's opinion is perhaps negative. And then it says, although these observations are supportable. Okay, so we've got a contrast conjunction, although, and these observations are supportable. Okay, so Pickett's observations are supported with perhaps evidence, comma, Pickett overstates. So although something positive, comma, Pickett negative. I'm going to choose A, and here is why. First of all, it says Pickett provides a cogent rationale. That is synonymous with his observations are supportable. He supports his arguments, so they are rational and cogent. Cogent means he has supported them with some evidence. And the conjunction however and although, okay, those are synonymous, so they are related to each other. Contrast conjunctions. Also, it says, remember, Pickett overstates, that's negative, and then it says in choice A, he, meaning Pickett, draws conclusions that the author does not fully support. So does not is negative and overstates is negative. So try to remember that the prefix over can be used to state something negative. So the opinion of the author of this text in relation to T.H. Pickett's article is negative. And that's the end of the video. Watch it a couple more times to get the idea, and good luck with your PTE preparations.